Hey everybody, Krista. Happy Friday. Hope everyone's doing well wherever you are, Friday morning, Friday afternoon. Um, so I'm really excited to talk to you about something I think is really affecting a lot of people right now, right? And that is just the topic today is about, should I go back into corporate or should I go and start a business, right? Or should I do something else? I just did a poll yesterday that is still going for the next week exactly about this topic, and it's really interesting to hear all the feedback. I mean, there's tons of amazing comments. Since the poll is still live, if you haven't participated, I would love for you to go to my feed and participate on this poll, because it's all about like what should you do. And today there's so many options, right? There's a lot of options. If you go to my LinkedIn, which is, I'm going to put it up on the screen for a sec. So if you go to linkedin.com post Krista Molione, you'll see that this is my last post from yesterday. So, a lot of people seem to be thinking about this, or I got a lot of feedback from people on this post who are actual coaches or professionals helping others make that decision. And I think that's amazing, because what that shows me is that there's a shift now from people thinking, okay, I'm just going to have a career and be in my career for the rest of my life and retire, to maybe rethinking things. Maybe what you studied when you were 20 isn't what interests you when you're 40. And so that poll really showed me that people are thinking about maybe should I go back to work or not. Yeah. So this is a big one that I'm excited. I'm really excited about that. And so I'm waiting for a few people, see if anybody say hello and tell me where you're from. If you would tell me in the comments, say where you're tuning in from. What I love about LinkedIn is it's so international. It's great. Amazing to get so many people from all over the world and get to meet you guys. So tell me more. And hello, let's see, I've got, I'm going to butcher your name. Ahi Prasad. I hope I said it right, but thank you for tuning in. And I see Lisa, thanks for tuning in. Lisa says she's starting her own business with an online shop. Woo! Guys, Tony, good morning. Sanyev, hello from India. Great to see you here. Tony's from Florida, tuning in from sunny Florida. I'm jealous. It's getting cold out here. I'm getting Colorado. Anya, nice to see you. Chrissy from the UK. We got some international people here. So everybody who's tuning in, you guys know as well as me that it has never been easier if you want to start your own business. And I think that, I'm in my 40s. So when I started, we didn't have all these tools. We didn't have all these free tools, these platforms. We didn't have such no code abilities. I built an e-commerce site from scratch on a Sunday afternoon last weekend, and we've already made over $6,000 on the site with one product. So what does that tell you? And the product's cheap too. It's a book. So I'm just telling you that, if I can do that with no code. And the software I use for my e-commerce site is WooCommerce. Any fans of WooCommerce out there? I'm going to give a big shout out to WooCommerce because they're amazing and they've really changed my life. I have to put them in the chat real quick. So WooCommerce, it enables you to put your stuff online, and you can combine it with digital products. You can do inventory from your you can have a drop shipping solution. You can also create an Amazon store today. It's so easy to become an Amazon vendor. Lisa says she misses her brick and mortar. Yes, I mean, I don't think that's going to go away. I think people still do want to have actual contact with products, right? But I definitely think that now there's just so many options. You don't have to pay for inventory. You don't have to stock it. There's just so much going on out there right now that you can do both. And so I think, yeah, Lisa, we'll have to talk about WooCommerce, because WooCommerce, like I said, I set up an e-boutique on Sunday. And today's Friday? Yeah, we already made $6,000 on one product, and the product is cheap. So, and it's passive income, guys. Remember, this is not when you have something like an e-commerce store, you really don't have to deal with it very much. You set it up and it runs for you, very, very minimal hands-on. So you can be working at your job, and you can have an e-commerce store and make $6,000 a week without even touching it. I'm not joking how hands-off it is. It's all about experience. It's about finding somebody who's experienced in how to set up all the aspects of it and then let it run. So, but I'm already going way down into retail and e-commerce, and that's just part of this big wide world today, right? The big wide world is that we have a lot of options. So when you're looking about going back to the office, there's not just one flavor of that, right? There's 1,000,001 flavors. I know people now who have full-time jobs and full-time businesses. And the reality is, it's getting easier and easier to do everything because of tech. So my secret weapon is tech. I'm a marketer, and I know a lot of tech. And this tech has enabled me for zero cost or very low cost, because I'm very scrappy. I'm a scrappy entrepreneur. I don't ever buy anything unless I know that it's going to give me immediate money, and that there's not a free version that is just as good out there. And if I find a tool that can do two things, I'm going to cancel the other thing that can only do one immediately, because I'm very conscious that, we need to save our money. We all have better things to do with our money. So, the tech enables you to do amazing things online. And the e-commerce site that I built, where we've already made $6,000 for one product, the person who made that is working full-time. So this is complete side hustle income, in addition to having a full-time job. So it's pretty cool, right? That we live in such a time. Anya says, who do you use? Me. I'm a marketer. So I don't need anybody. I can build a WordPress site, and I can make it look pretty darn nice without any coding, really. I mean, I know some tricks, but I'm not a programmer able to do that. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful what's going on today, that we're able to do all these things. Lisa says, crashed and burned in 2016 technology. Yes, it was. Yeah. I think, well, think about it. In a way, Lisa, older people right now are the ones that have a lot of free time, a lot of disposable, or is that what we call it? Disposable income, or, money to spend. And they're actually pretty hip, I mean, if I look around my town where I live, most of the older people are the ones driving nice new cars. Young people don't have the money. They have mortgages, they have kids. their jobs may not be that great. So I think it's great to be able to help, if your niche market is an older demographic, but believe me, there's a market out there for everybody. And speaking of market, e-commerce is not for everybody. You have so many options. So take a passion, a hobby, a skill, maybe you're good at cooking. You really are good at cooking. Start a blog and start posting photos of your food online. There's just so many options right now to start a side hustle, and it's fun. It's fun. This right now is what we call the creator economy. And creator economy means, contrary to someone who has a degree in something, today you can create a business almost instantly with no diploma in it. You just happen to love it, be good at it. I mean, I know people who have dog walking businesses, who have cooking shows online, who just have built amazing businesses around stuff that they're just interested in or good at. And the main thing about job versus business is, like the poll I posted yesterday, you got to figure out what you want. So I don't think business is for everybody. I really don't. The main criterias of running a business: ambition, interest, hard work. So if you have those three things, if you're ambitious in general, you're a hard worker, and that doesn't bother you to put in the work, and you have some interests in something, then you're cut out to be a business owner. Now, who's not cut out and who will be amazing in their career being working for someone else? Someone who does not like making decisions. So if you're somebody who's like, I just want to be told what to do. I mean, we need everything in this world, right? And also remember, you may change over time. There may be a time in your life where you're just like, I don't want to have to think about things. I just want peace and quiet, so that someone else is calling the shots, taking all the heat on them, the responsibility. And I'm just going to show up, give it my 8 hours, and then I'm going home. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. And you can still be ambitious in a career as well, right? I think there's a level of ambition, a level of hard work where you don't feel like you're being compensated enough. You don't like your boss, or you feel your boss is not letting you go above and beyond. They're kind of holding you down. Then I think you should be a business owner. So I've coached a lot of people who are in that phase. I specialize in helping businesses grow. So, there are a lot of amazing career coaches out there. There's a lot of mindset coaches who are like helping you figure things out, sort things through. And I can introduce you to all those people. If you guys aren't following me here on LinkedIn, follow me, because on LinkedIn, I'm connected with so many amazing people. So there's people to help for every possible scenario. And if you want to go down a certain rabbit hole, there's like e-commerce experts. There's coaching experts. There's all kinds of people who can help you launch a blog, launch a YouTube channel, launch a podcast. So whatever your cup of tea is, I promise you can find help. But here's the kicker. The kicker is, please find help. All right? Because definitely the worst thing you can do is try to just wing stuff on your own and stay stuck. You really can find coaches, mentors, inspiration. There's tons of people out there to help you for every budget, every scenario, every specialty. And all you need to do is look. But trying to stay stuck, trying to figure things out on your own, not a good idea. Not a good idea. If anything, everyone I've met has said, I wish I would have hired someone to help me earlier, because there's a lot of time and money wasted, a lot of frustration, a lot of staying stuck longer than you should. Hey there, I see somebody here. Wow, everyone join me in saying congrats. This is really amazing. You're going to go get your study and go to Toronto. Very, very happy to hear that. You should post that in our group, in our Honest Conversations group. That's amazing. So, yeah, you see, that's when somebody wants something, then you can get it. Rahul says parameters and ownership for business requires mindset. Yeah, absolutely. Ambition, hard work, interest. Those things combined, it's really about that hunger, that thirst, that you want something more. And the rest you can get help with. You can get help from people to help you organize, all kinds of things. But again, it's not for everybody. So some of the biggest, I just gave you the 3 biggest criteria of like deciding, should I start a business or should I go back to work, right? But honestly, it is a mindset. It definitely is a mindset. So you want to make sure. Another thing that's really important is, how does this fit into your big life goals? So if you're asking yourself, what's the right solution for me? Ask yourself, like, for example, what are your top priorities right now in your life? If you are struggling with a lot of debts and you've got tons of bills, like you're really high, maybe you live in a high cost area, you've got a mortgage, you've got all kinds of crazy bills, then you're going to have a bread and butter source of income. So no matter what, you're going to have to find a way to pay your bills. So my advice to you, no matter what, is to tally up your bills. Be really on top of your finances. So, this is what I need to live on. Then you can have your 6-month emergency fund, so that in case anything happens, you know that it's there. And only then can you think about, what else can I do? Because you can start a business on the side and you have to just hit a certain income where it's coming in consistently and you're really, really covered, and then you can quit your job. But I think that one of the mistakes I've seen people make is listening to all these fake stories of getting rich quick. And yes, when the money comes in, the money can be really big. So becoming a business owner means that you will be used to making a lot more money than you're making in any job ever. And that's just the way it is, because yeah. I mean, really, 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 running a business, you'll make a lot more money. But number one, it comes at a price. You have to set up systems, you have to hustle. So there may be a long period of time before that happens. How are you going to live? I see too many people just hearing about the money and then thinking, oh, okay, I'll just quit my job now, or I'll just start making that money within the next 30 days. And then they're very, very much disappointed to find out that it is not happening. You have to put in a lot of free work before you get there. So I'm an entrepreneur, and what I do is I show up multiple times a week and I give away free content all the time. And this content, I aim to give value. I'm not looking to create attention-grabbing posts that are clickbait or that are all about me, or that are viral. No. My thing is, I'm trying to show up and give value. So I'm hoping that something I say or something you read or something you watch is actually going to help you. And that's my goal. you know? And because I have that goal, people follow me. And then over time, I may have some kind of an offer that they want, you know? Because sooner or later they're like, "Oh, okay, maybe I could use that." I've got all kinds of offers. So, but I show up all the time and nobody is paying me to show up. So that's where you have to realize I develop programs and courses. Who is paying me for those? I have to put in all the work before I get the return on my investment. Before I can sell anything, I have to build it. So you see the issue? The issue is that some people they're thinking more like get rich quick schemes. No, that doesn't work. So you definitely don't want that. You want that people understand that it actually takes time to make this all happen. So if you guys are curious about starting a business, you should follow me because I share a ton of tips for business owners. And I've got a lot of free stuff for you. So here is a website, Start a Business, that you can bookmark or you can check out, and you'll find a free how to get started in 30 days checklist, how to identify your ideal customer. I've got a quiz, a downloadable worksheet, got tons of articles. I have a newsletter where I send stuff out like that. So definitely it has never been easier to start a business today. And besides that, there are so many free resources out there. So besides free software that you can use or inexpensive tech tools that basically do everything for you, you've got people like me who are showing up, who have newsletters, who have YouTube channels, who have podcasts, who show up on LinkedIn and give you basically free coaching. How many event invitations do you guys get? This right now, this live was an event that I sent out. Do you want to come to this event? So imagine there's so many amazing events happening that are basically like free coaching sessions. So I think people have no excuse. And like I said, it has nothing to do with time, because I know plenty of people, I've coached plenty of people who build successful businesses in less than 20 hours a week, even less than 16 hours a week. Lisa says she has a business empowerment group. Yay! That sounds amazing. Exactly. Community is so important. I don't think, when I said I don't think you should DIY it. So I think you need to have a coach or a mentor and then hire some specialists when you're sure that that's what you need help with. But I don't think you should get by without having peer support. And the worst thing you can do if you're starting a business is ask people who are employees for their opinion or their advice. You want to ask other business owners because they can relate. They've been there. You guys can share resources. So that's super, super important. Lisa says, nice. Well, I'm happy I'm on your radar, Lisa. I think it's normal though, because, the way the algorithm is supposed to work is by interest. So if I say I'm interested in business, or I'm interested in e-commerce, or the topics that you have shown your behavior by liking, by following, that's what LinkedIn wants to show you more of. So then you can discover new people who Facebook does the same, right? They always will suggest another group. They're like, if you are a member of this group, you may be interested in this group. So it's the same idea. And I love it because that's true that there's never been as many communities online as there is right now. And inside these communities, you can get amazing, amazing support. Just post a question in the right group and you get tons of answers almost instantly. So I would never advise you do anything without that type of support as well, right? Uh, and the same for being an employee. So, I believe that the best thing you can do, and in both scenarios, is to be a lifelong learner so that you're always open to learning new skills, to advancing in your domain and meeting other people. Network, 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 because relationships really do make a difference. And I think that's what entrepreneurs do that really well, because we have to. We're alone, like literally alone, right? Solopreneurs. And so we have to go out and network to get clients. And by default, then we'll meet other entrepreneurs and we'll make friends and we'll, do a lot of business networking, collaborations, all kinds of things happening. But employees don't tend to do it enough. I think that employees need to be more out there. Employees need to be networking more. They need to learn how to build relationships, because relationships are like your savings account. So you want to be a giver, and you give, give, give. And then if you ever need something, you can ask these people for help, support, whatever it is, because you've given to them. And that's how relationships work. Relationships are not one-sided. So if you're an employee and you just are in your little company bubble and you never network with people outside your company, you're going to regret it. Because when it does happen that you find yourself looking for a job, well, you're not going to have the connections because you didn't network enough. So the best place to start is to join some industry associations and find out who does local events, and maybe some national associations to find out, who does virtual events. And when I was working, I was always in both of those. I was in like a women's association that was a national, and they had like branches. So they had like a local branch, but there were events I was invited to that were in different cities because I was part of this group. And then I had purely local ones that I would go to. So I think networking is so important. And then another thing all of us can do is social selling. Whether you're an employee or a business owner, we need to be out there and we need to do as much social selling as possible. And if you're not sure what social selling is, let me see, I can find my article. You can follow my newsletter, because I have a newsletter. Here it is. You guys want free coaching, then you need to follow my newsletter, because I give a lot of stuff away for free. There it goes. I put it in the comments. See if I can show that or not. There we go. ChristaMilleone.com friends. Pretty simple. And there is a checkbox. So if you check off like business news or mindset, you can pick what kind of emails you prefer getting. But I post pretty regularly about stuff like that. And you say 100% grateful to have connected with people from Asia, North America. Yeah, amazing, amazing. That's such a good example how you were able to realize your plans. And I've known you for about a year now. And not only were you clear on your goals, but you also have such an amazing personality, like an attitude. And that's one thing, is no matter what you guys want to do with your career, whether you want to start a business or you want to actually move up the ladder in a company, your attitude makes a huge difference. And believe me, I know what it's like to be unemployed or to be fighting some kind of mindset issues, and I think that is such a disservice. It's just a waste of energy, because the more positive you can stay, the more you can find ways to psych yourself up. the more you manifest what you actually want. So by being positive, you attract more positivity. By being negative, you attract more negativity. So wherever you guys are at right now, because I know LinkedIn, there's a lot of people who may be looking for jobs, worried about their job, worried about money in general. Remember to stay positive, because there's always someone else who is less fortunate than you. And it's easy to get caught up in this me bubble, but trust me, your situation is never as bad as someone else's. There's always someone who has a worse situation than you. And when you remind yourself of that, you can really focus on, I'll be okay. And that's the mindset that will get you out of any problem in your life. I've been through some major hardships, and a lot of people don't believe that, because they say, oh, you're so lucky. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I just don't go online every day telling you about what I've been through, right? Because I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor. And you are too. So no matter if someone's done you wrong, if things didn't quite work out, how many famous people were first bankrupt before their company succeeded? And if they would have given up, they would have lost everything. They would not be who they are today. That's why I said in the beginning, ambition, hard work, interest in something, right? Lisa says that professional groups on LinkedIn are a great way to connect with people, like-minded people. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you say you're absolutely spot on. You'll attract what you put out. Yep. And I think people need to be reminded of that all the time. And I'm not saying you have to be happy all the time. I mean, hey, we get disappointments, we get rejected, we get mistreated. Life is not a bunch of roses 24/7, right? There are setbacks. But the person who wins is the person who gets up. Even after being pushed down several times, they just get right back up. You can take a break, but you still go back out in the ring and keep fighting the good fight. And this, my friends, comes back to another issue that I think very, very, very relevant to this question of this topic. Starting a business or going back to the office comes back to a very important question. And that is, what are your goals? Especially now, the year is winding down. In just a week from now, will it be November? I mean, come on. It's insane. So when you think about that, you're like, okay, we've only got a few more weeks of the year left. And then it will be 2022. Are you guys ready for 2022? So when you're asking yourself these questions, we have to talk about goals. Goals are major, major, major. And I have another resource for you concerning goals. I'll put it up there. So here's what I've got for you. I have a free challenge. If you go to that page, goal setting, there's a free challenge. There's some worksheets that can help you design your goals. And I have a course. And the course is paid, but it's not very expensive. And I really, really believe in doing this several times a year. Too many people, they wait until they get laid off. Some major life crisis happens. January rolls around and they panic. Oh my God, what am I going to do next? And that's not the way to live. Goal setting needs to happen regularly. And during the year, you have to ask yourself, are these still the goals that I want to pursue? Am I happy? And biggest question of all, guys, what lights you up? What is making you really want to get out of bed on a Monday morning? What are the things that you really could do all day, whether or not you got paid? So if your bills were paid, what would you do all day? And I know some people who work in a corporate job would say, oh, I'll just lie on the beach. But believe me, that would get boring after a while. And then what? So ask yourself, what are the goals that I have? And that going deep into that will help you make such decisions like what we're talking about. Start a business, go back to a corporate job. Now, some people may try to start a business, but they don't know how to make money. And that's not the same thing. You know, running a business, having your own business is one thing. Making money with your business is a different thing. So I'm afraid that to say that some people just think that that's a given. So they think, okay, I set up my business. Now the customers will come. No, no, that does not work like that. So you really have to have a sales strategy, a business plan, financial goals, funnels, nurture sequences, email lists, all the good stuff in order for that to work. I'm in a good place to know because I run a business academy. So I have a group coaching program that has tons of curriculum for business owners in it. So if it were so easy, I wouldn't have all that material. And the material's not over. I keep adding to it. It's an ongoing library course that keeps getting bigger and bigger because there's so much to talk about. I mean, this is what I do full time, I coach, I consult, I have courses, I write. So trust me, it's definitely selling is a whole different ball game, and I talk a lot about sales. So follow me if you're interested in that. Sign up for my newsletter if you're interested in that, because I will, it's the heart of everything is how to actually take a business and sell, right? But yeah, let's see, what do you say here? I'm pretty sure my 2020 is going to be super active with a big move. Yeah. I mean, new beginnings are amazing, aren't they? It's one of the best feelings is to, it's scary, but at the same time, it's a really amazing feeling to start something new in life. And so wishing you all the best. And believe me, now that everything's virtual, there's not a big deal of staying in touch with people. There's a lot of people I know who are becoming more digital nomads. Now I see a lot of companies are allowing hybrid, so you can work from home, you can go in the office, and this is really a cool time. It's a cool time because you can work from anywhere and have friends everywhere and be an international citizen, truly. And just look at this live. I mean, look at LinkedIn. There's so many people now who are tuning in from different parts of the world. Definitely cool. Lisa wants to know more about WooCommerce. I might do a YouTube video about WooCommerce because it's such an amazing tool. Really, really. And I hope that you guys find your special thing, whether it's an e-commerce business or a brick and mortar business or hybrid, of everything, or whether it's a corporate career, there is no right or wrong answer. There's only the answer that's right for you right now. Some people going back to school and want to study more, So whatever you guys are up to, definitely your whole point should be about aligning with your goals. Okay. That's what's most important. A few more things I can say about business ownership, though. There are a few key questions to ask yourself. So I mentioned in the beginning that the biggest criteria for you to know if you want to work for somebody or you want to run your own business: ambition, hard work, interest, right? So you have to be really interested in what you're doing, because if you're not, you're going to literally work more hours for yourself than you would for your boss, but it's more front-loaded work, which means You build something that takes hours to build, but then you go away and it makes money for you. Okay. And that's completely different from employee work, right? um, and I think it's important to have clarity and vision as well, because if you don't want to have to think about what you have to do, you probably won't make it very far. You should work for somebody who they do that, you know? As a business coach, I help a lot of my clients find that vision and clarity, right? But you don't get far without it, no matter what. And I personally think this is the same if you work for somebody, because sooner or later, you're in charge of your career. So your employer has zero responsibility to keep you on board. They can really have redundancies, layoffs, mergers. There can be a million reasons why you're no longer in the company. So if you don't have the vision and the strategy and responsibility for your own career, that's not good either. So even if you work for somebody, it's not an excuse to be like hands off, like, oh, okay, so please, guys, take that seriously. And so if you want to get started with your business, the very first place I would advise you to go is really the goal setting. Like I said a minute ago, just so that you know exactly what you want in your life, right? And if you tell me, okay, I know I really am interested, at least in starting a part-time side hustle, something like that, then starting a business, the other advice I would give you is to look at my resources for business owners. So let me see. I just had it open here. Oh, I think I put it in the chat, didn't I? My other resources, give me a second. I'll find it. There you go. Is all about starting a business. So I've got tons of free resources because I'm a business coach. So that's my specialty. I help people grow businesses. And if you guys have any questions about growing a business, put them in the chat. Another place that you guys could reach out to me, I go live every Friday, and you can send me questions by filling out this form. So on this form, you can drop in any questions and I'll help you. I'll do my best. Because, I write all about this all the time. I have tons of video resources, downloadable PDFs, checklists, guides, all kinds of stuff to help business owners. And so that's what I do. Customer success. Yes, customer success is what you really are good at, and I can tell. And that brings me to a point, is you've got to align with the stuff you're interested in. So I said that in the beginning. I said ambition, hard work, interest. So you really need to figure out what interests you. And if you don't know what interests you, it means you're not exposing yourself to enough things. Get a personality test. There are actual coaches that will help you figure out your stuff. Okay. I'll give a shout out to Kristen Sherry, who has an amazing book called UMAP, and she helps people figure those things out. Let's see. UMAP is what it's called. And if you look that up, if you look up UMAP, you'll see that she helps. It's really about aligning your personal strengths with the right career for you. Love it. We all need that. No matter if you're a business owner or an employee, that doesn't matter. It matters that you're doing something that lights you up and you're good at it. Because we all have our strengths and we all have our weaknesses. And if you tell me I'm going to become an accountant just because my dad was an accountant, I think accountants make a lot of money. I know I can get a scholarship somewhere, but you don't really feel it. You don't like it. You're not that good at it. Then think about it in a couple of years. If you don't like it now, in a couple of years, you're going to hate it. Because no matter what you pick, you have to do the thing all the time. So pick something that you're naturally inclined to do. And if you don't know what that is, there's going to be another event, by the way, here on LinkedIn. I saw the invite. So look up this book, Design Your Life. It's an amazing book. I did a review on this book. And this book really helps you figure out what you should be doing next. So definitely want you guys to have the right resources. Let me see YouTube. If this shows up, I'll show it to you real quick. Pretty amazing. Really amazing. I'm looking for that book. But the event is happening. I saw it. I got invited to it and I shouted it out. I think yesterday I said something about it. Because it's definitely an amazing, amazing one. Hold on. I'm going to give it to you before I head off here because it's so cool. There we go. So this is the book. This is the book that I really love. And you can recommend this book to, maybe you guys know what you want to do right now and you're happy, but maybe you have a teenager or a college student or a college grad in your family. And this is a great book to share with them because it talks about.
Tired of cold calling?
Oh, no.
Introducing Lucia.
Sorry. I accidentally clicked on the video. But yeah, I think that this is an important discussion and there's so many ways around it, but I would start with goal setting, then exploring more into the stuff that you're interested in. Find a mentor, find a coach, find a community, build relationships with people who are already doing the thing. And, if you don't know what you want to do, the best way to find out is by finding people who are doing that thing, right? Most people are more approachable than you'd imagine. If you approach people the right way. So I personally try to respond to every email or DM or in-mail I get if it's written in a straightforward way. What I don't respond to is, can you give me a job? Can you refer me when I don't even know this person? Like recommendation, like write me a recommendation. I don't know this person. Can I work for you as an intern? Same thing. I mean, come on. So, but if you say, hey, I'm trying to build a career in marketing, I have a couple of marketing questions and you're specific, I'll definitely try to answer them. So approach people that way. Seek out these people who seem to have experience, who seem to have answers, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to contact them. Just do it the right way. Okay. Do I have any Halloween plans? I don't yes and no. Like I have kind of a Halloween party planned. I have a costume, but I'm kind of hesitant with COVID. I'm kind of in the mixed, but we'll see. Definitely Halloween is coming. All right, guys. So if you have any questions about this topic, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And if you have any new questions that you want to know about business, starting your business, advice, go to chrismillion.com, ask. All right. And if you want to stay in touch with me and get my newsletter and stuff, then you go to chrismillion.com/friends and sign up and just say what you're interested in getting, and you'll get some great, great stuff. I do all kinds of challenges, free challenges. I've got all kinds of resources for you. So I hope this was helpful. And in the end of the day, it's all about finding what makes you happy, what lights you up. What lights you up? That's my favorite question. So think of things in terms of that, and you'll be just fine. All right. I go live every Friday. So see you guys here next week. Have a wonderful weekend, wonderful rest of your week. And please stay in touch. Take care.